Hey there, Wolfpack fans. It's me again, Kenton bringing you another episode of Locked On Wolfpack. And folks, it is senior day. And with that being said, there are some people who feel like you should not fully give the love and give all the things and do all the extras and all that for the seniors until this thing is truly over, until the book is done being written and all of the seniors have gone on to whatever the next endeavor in their lives will be it the NFL, be it becoming grad assistants, be it another football league, be it the CFL, be it another league around the world, or be it going into the professional world. A lot of folks feel like, you shouldn't do that. I strongly disagree. I personally did not get a senior night because I was forced into retirement by injuries before then. But I'm a very firm believer of giving folks their flowers while they can smell them, which is why I love the fact that the players get roses on senior day. And so that's what this episode is going to be about. We're going to give the flowers to these seniors because when you look back on the totality of what these guys have done, what they have accomplished, if you are a member of Wolfpack Nation and your chest doesn't swell with pride looking back at that, I would like for your card and membership of Wolfpack Nation to be permanently revoked. Permanently. Because we're going to get into Ken's keys and we're going to get into predictions at the end. We're going to close out with that. But we're going to break this thing down into two segments first. We're going to talk about the unit, the totality of all of our seniors and what we've seen out of the guys who came in and stayed and all that good stuff. And then we'll talk about the individuals and individual moments that brought great joy. But before we get into that, I have to tell you that today's episode is brought to you by Underdog. Is brought to you by Upside. Download the free Upside app and use promo code LOCK to get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. So stick around as we get through all of that on today's episode of Locked On Wolfpack.
You are Locked On Wolfpack, your daily podcast on the NC State Wolfpack, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
So, folks, when I look back at what these teams have done, okay, again, like I said, I'm going to talk about the unit. And even in talking about the unit, you can break that down two different ways. From when they first got here on campus, because some of them were making impacts right away. There, Thomas, I'm looking at you big time. Up to these last 3 years in particular, where you see the maturity come in. And, of course, you get past that snake bit in 2019 where everybody who put on a Wolfpack uniform was out and hurt and banged up and all that good stuff. So let's talk about the unit for a second, okay? Right now, this group is 37 and 21. I want you to just sit and chew on that for a second. 37 and 21. And some people would say, well, that's not enough. Well, that's not. We need more. That is good for a 64% winning percentage. A 64% winning percentage. And again, I know that's not good enough for some people. I understand that. I understand some people have expectations that are, high in the sky apple pie hopes. I'm not here to castigate you or say you're stupid or wrong or anything along those lines. But what I will say is this. If we look back over what NC State has been historically, if we are talking about what NC State has been historically, okay? And we talk about, well, they've got whatever winning percentage or whatever the case may be. Well, okay, let's go through all of our coaches in program history. And of all the ones, of every single coach in program history. Now, if we're going back to find somebody that matches or beats what this team has done, and they coach for more than 5 years, you've got some real slim pickings. Real slim pickings. Dick Sheridan matches what this team had done. He matches what these seniors had done. Before him, you've got, I mean, you're going back. You're going back. You're going way back. And actually, now that I look at it, there isn't another. There isn't another. There is not a single other coach who has been here for the amount of time that these seniors have that produced at the level in which they did. And when you look at that and you say, well, hey, these seniors have done amazing things, some people will want to rebut that with, well, but they haven't won a conference championship. Well, they haven't gotten the big enchilada. They haven't played well in conference. Well, okay, let's talk about the conference record overall, shall we? Let's talk about the totality of what we have seen out of this group in conference. If we're talking about from the start to now, again, 2018, when these seniors first got here, to now, we're looking at 22-17, slightly above 500. That's where we're at right now. This has the potential to turn into 25-17 or 24-18. You get where I'm going here? Like this senior class, we cannot give them enough love. We cannot. And then when you really want to break it down, when you really want to get into, well, what have they done now that they're older, now that they're in they're more mature and all that state. This team, and one more thing, even through all the losses, even through all the tough times, even through 2019 included, this team at home, 28-5 since these seniors got here. 28-5. I don't know how much more you could possibly ask for as a fan. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Wolfpack fans should never strive to or never want to win a conference championship. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is appreciate where we are. Appreciate that this is a program. We're doing this even with the season that we thought we were going to have. We have had freshmen stepping up and making huge plays. Not just MJ Morris, Timmons as well, stepping up and making big plays. We've had young guys that we know we're going to have for a couple more years making plays. Big Josh Harris making plays. Boykin making plays. Davin Van making plays. We've got a thing where it's at the end of the day, progress will not always be linear. Sometimes progress looks like going up and then you fall off a little bit, then you go back and you. This team is going up and to the right. And now let's talk about these last 3 years in particular. At home, 18-1 in 2020, 2021, and right now in this season, 2022, 18-1 at home. You talk about Dorton hasn't gotten it done in conference, 16-7. 16-7. These seniors. Oh, and by the way, the only complaint that I'll look at and I'll say that's kind of valid. We're 500 against the boys in baby blue. Of course, you want to be better than that, but it is what it is. This group, you can't show them enough love. Defensively, offensively, special teams, Chris Dunn out here breaking records. This, you can't show this enough love. We were having a discussion about Wolfpack fans. I don't know why, because the numbers are bearing out that Wolfpack fans are some of the best in the nation. 18-1 at home. Yes, the players on the field have the biggest bulk of the responsibility for that. Yes, the coaches have the biggest bulk of the responsibility for that. I am telling you right now, it is much harder to play in a ruckus environment. It is much harder to play in a situation where you can barely hear it. The fans have shown up and showed out for these seniors, for these guys all the way through, and these seniors have given you something to show up for. Again, last 3 years, 1 home loss. Last 3 years, 1 home loss. Man, I mean, these seniors deserve the love They deserve all the love. They deserve it. Point blank, period. Again, it's not out of the realm of possibility for these guys to run the table, go 27-9. 27-9 to finish out their last 3 seasons. And people would be upset with that because there's no conference championship. I listen, championships are great. Love a championship. Love a ring. I got a few of them myself. Love a ring. But if we cannot acknowledge what these seniors have done, as a unit and as individuals, and we're about to get to the individuals, maybe we don't even deserve a ring. If we can't show these seniors some love for elevating the program, maybe we don't deserve it. Maybe we shouldn't be in that conversation. Maybe we shouldn't be having serious talks about things. If we look at from the time that the AP poll started up, or from our first AP poll, first time ever being ranked in the AP polls, which was 1946, up to right now, we have only done so about 20 times, and 2 of them came under Doran. Or actually 3 of them came under Doran, because this year we're probably going to be ranked in the final AP coaches poll as well if we just find a way to not crap a bed down the stretch. This team here, these seniors here, have done something special. They've done something special. And it deserves to be acknowledged. It deserves to, they deserve to have some praise heaped on them. And if nobody else is going to do it, if no other podcast wants to do it while they're still here, Locked On Wolfpack's got them. Kenton's got them. Because again, I know what goes into that. I know what goes into doing everything right, and still, it's just something that just doesn't go your way. The ball doesn't break your way, or whatever the case may be. And so for this team, again, over the last 3 years, 18-1 at home, 16-7 in conference. Of course, there are goals that we want to accomplish that we haven't yet. But there's no way I'm looking down and this team, they just can't do. Doran just can't. No way. No way I'm doing that. Because it's, again, these seniors, they deserve the love. They deserve the love. They're showing us ways that you elevate a program, that you become the stepping stone for the championship teams. They're showing us that. They're showing us that, and we all need to lean into that. Another thing we need to all lean into is upside. Inflation has us all thinking of different ways to cut back, whether it's driving less, dining out less, buying less from the grocery store. We can all agree there's nothing fun about less. That's why I started using Upside. Upside is an incredible app for anyone who buys gas, groceries, or dines out. With the Upside app, you don't have to cut back anymore because you get cash back on every purchase. To get started, download the free Upside app and use promo code LOCKED to get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. Next, claim an offer for whatever you're buying on Upside. Check in at the business, pay as usual with a credit or debit card, and get paid. In comparison to credit card or loyalty rewards programs, you can earn 3 times more cash back with Upside. Upside users are earning more than $1 million every week. That's probably why they have a 4.8 star rating on the App Store. So download the free Upside app using promo code LOCK to get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. That's $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more using promo code LOCK. Now, when we look at these seniors as individuals, right? I mean, there are so many. There are so many that it's hard to talk about all the players who are participating in Senior Day and all the players who are going to be talking about or going to be leaving or participating in Senior Day. It's hard to fit them all in. It really is. It really is. But this is, 30 players. 30 players. A lot of these guys walking have a lot of eligibility left. But again, I am very much so here for every single one of these players being honored in their own special way. All of the players who, again, we're here and had done this for had been here and had done this for forever and have done great things, and the players who that hadn't necessarily been the case, or they transferred in later, whatever the case may be, they all need to get their love. They all do. They all do. And so I'm just gonna roll down the list of these guys, and of course, some have meant different things or more or less the program than others, but all these guys have meant a ton to this program. I mean, again, I've already talked about Chris Dunn and his how this year he's been just a beacon, just steady, rock solid, nothing missed. I've talked about Grant Gibson and how much he's impacted this team and how much he's done. I've talked about what we're looking at in terms of Thayer Thomas and how he has been Mr. Reliable for whatever quarterback is in. Doesn't matter the quarterback. If he's there, he's going to do so. Tanner Ingle and the way that he has matured. I mean, the face mask or the ripping off of the helmet against Wake Forest was a bad mistake. But how many times have we looked up at Tanner this year and said, oh, you just can't do that? And y'all remember when he was getting kicked out of 3-4 games a season for targeting. And so to see him mature and come along and do things the right way, Tyler Baker Williams, T-Bake has been another one of those guys that we knew that the safeties and the nickels were not going to be a concern on this team. Aiden White has been a revelation. Pitts has played well. This is, Shaheem Battle has had some moments where he struggled, but for the most part, he's played well. But Tyler Baker Williams is one of those guys that we knew after seeing him a few times. Oh, this guy's the real deal. And so, Devin Carter, the player that I looked at every year, was like, this is his breakout year, never quite caught on, never seen it happen. But if you say that he hadn't made huge plays here, you're a lie and a half. Drake Thomas, also going to be walking. Although he has some eligibility left, and I'd love to see him come back, he has been an absolute monster. And if he decides to go play on Sundays, baby boy, go make your money. Go do what's best for you and your family. Go do what you got to do. I ain't never going to be mad at you for that. Isaiah Moore, I've already talked about, wildly cerebral, a guy who thinks his way through the game like no other. The Florida State transfers, Durden and Fagan. Anybody who tells you that these two haven't been impactful on this team are a lie and a half. That they're a lie, and there is not a lick of truth in them. Durden, all conference first team. And when you watch him this year, he has what I like to call gravity. On defensive line, sometimes your stats don't show how effective you're being because you have a lot of gravity. In a 3-man front, if you have a lot of gravity, what that means is you are attracting so much attention that you're creating free blitzers. You're creating abilities to stop the run, because the offensive line's rules are first level first, then climb. Or take care of the first level, take care of the defensive lineman, then focus on the blitz. If you have the gravity that Corey Durden does, we see it. Cyrus Fagan has been outstanding. Anytime he has been healthy, I have had nothing but praises to sing of Cyrus Fagan. So he deserves some love. Daryl Jones transferred in from Maryland this year, and he has been a heck of a target in terms of what he has done in the red zone and whatnot. Chandler Zavala has been another guy that's been just a rock on that offensive line, just been steady on that offensive line. And I'm going to tell you this, even the guys, Devin Leary is walking as well. And how many moments? How many moments do we have from Devin Leary? How many? We've got Pitt. Oh, Kenny Pickett's the guy. Oh, this Pitt team. Oh, there. Devin Leary said, hey, it's all right. We're down. It's looking bad. Don't worry. I'll make this easy. Follow me. The boys in baby blue. Everybody talks about Emeka Emezi. You'll never have to buy a beer again in Raleigh. I don't care where under God's green earth Devin Leary goes next. If he goes to the NFL, more power to you. I'm buying your jersey wherever you go. If he decides to transfer, as long as you don't transfer to the boys in baby blue, hey, man. Hey, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. What those last 2 drives were. People talk about, well, it was hitting an open pass and it was throwing a 50-50 ball. In that moment, do you know, this is college football. Do you know how many quarterbacks get too amped up in a moment like that and piss down their leg and throw that thing 12 yards over the receiver's head? Do you know how many? When we talk about a 50-50 ball, it's not just about the receiver positioning themselves in a good way. It's also about the quarterback putting it in a good place for the receiver to go get it. And he did. He did so. He made it happen in a way that, I mean, he put the ball where it needed to be. Emeka comes down with it. And again, the fact that he's been a steady presence. He was not the ACC preseason player of the year this year for no reason. Okay? He wasn't. And that ain't there's no mistake, there's no joke there. Pitts, a player who has gotten better and better and better with time going on. Last year's Wake Forest game, it was moments where I'm just like, he cannot be the best guy we can put on the field. It is impossible. It is inconceivable to me that this is the best guy we can put on the field. This year, he's been a part of what has been one of the best secondaries in the ACC, if not the best outright. These seniors, and even the guys who, and let me give a shout out to all the guys who don't have the big name and all the notoriety and all that. Let's talk about them as well. Josiah Pavilion, Yates Johnson, Jamie Shaw, Aristotle Bowles, Joe Shimko. These guys, again, Clay Craddock, these guys, Drayshawn Miller, Nick Traco, Dylan Mosley, Jerome Williams, Alec Nugent, these guys deserve the love too, because the team is only as good as the looks that they get from these guys. The team only becomes as good as the look that you get from your scout team. The guys who go unnoticed, the walk-ons, the guys who may never touch the field here and have to transfer elsewhere to play. The team gets better because they're practicing against realistic looks. They're practicing against guys who go out of their way to show up, or not go out of their way, but they do their job and show up every day and go balls to the wall and go super hard. Each and every one of these guys. Is 30 a lot? Yes. Do a lot of these guys still have eligibility? And in my opinion, I don't know if I'd say, hey, you go ahead and walk on senior night. To me, you either got to have a degree or be done with your eligibility to walk on senior night, in my personal opinion. But I get it. Not my team. I don't get to decide that. All of these guys deserve some love as individuals, as folks who showed up, as folks who have made massive impact. Again, the group accomplishments, the way that this team can end this, in this season, in their career, write the ending. Oh man. The things that are not out of the realm of possibility, take care of their business. They just got to take care of their business today and take care of their business for the rest of the Saturdays in the season. That's the important thing. Point blank, period. Taking care of the business that needs to be taken care of. That's what matters here. That's the important deal. And the more that I watch this team and the more that I think about what this team has done, the more I become a believer in what this team can do. And I'm a bet on them every single time. And if you're a bettor, go to betonline.net. It is your number one source for sports betting info, stats, news, and analysis. Get the latest odds and trends for every professional and amateur league out there, from football to basketball to soccer to esports. We've got it all at betonline.net. And if you love sports podcasts, you can find those on BetOnline as well. They're the fastest and easiest way to get your betting fix. Head to the website to learn more. BetOnline, where the game starts. So, folks, we're about to land this thing. But before we do, I just want to get some real basic stuff out the way. This is a really, really bad BC team. So I'm going to cut it down from six, what's the word I'm looking for? Keys to 3. Number 1, don't let senior day get too big and, you get thrown off of your pattern and you got to kind of wake up into the game. So I want to see at least a 10-point lead at halftime. That would show me that this team is up. They're doing what they got to do. They're ready to compete right away. Number 2, AJ Black talked to me about something that this team struggled with that we got a big play off him in terms of last year. Special teams, I need to see at least 2 big special teams plays that put us either in plus territory or give us points. So 2 big special teams plays, again, plus territory or points. That's all I want to see. Plus territory or points. And lastly, put this game away early. Give these seniors an opportunity to sit back with their helmets off, with their shoulder pads off, to walk off the field to a standing ovation and go ahead and get this thing done the right way. So I would say win by 17 or more, because if you do so, I think you'll have an opportunity for these seniors to walk out and leave the way they want, for Devin Leary to potentially take a snap and kneel down and all that type of good stuff. So those are my keys for this game. 10-point lead at half, 2 special teams plays that put us in plus territory or score, and a 17-point or more victory. Those are the things that I want to see out of this team, and I know that they're capable of it, because this team, while they haven't quit on Halfley, they don't have the horses in the stable to compete, I don't believe. So we'll see how this game goes. But again, our seniors, thank you. Thank you. Again, 37-21 overall, 28-5 at home, 22-17 in conference. Last 3 years, 18-1 at home, 16-game home winning streak. With this win, a program record, if they can pull this off, a program record for consecutive home wins. A potential of going 28-9, 27-9. Listen, it's this here team. They're special. These here seniors, they're special. They deserve the love. Thank you. Thank each and every one of you. Thank you. Wherever y'all decide to go next. Again, as long as it ain't one university, you got my support and love wherever y'all go. Thank you all so very much for coming out, Wolfpack Nation. And thank you all for showing up. Because again, you don't achieve 18-1 by yourself. You don't achieve that with just a player. Thank you all for showing up and showing out and getting loud and getting rowdy and being passionate, the most passionate fan base, not just in the ACC, but in the nation. We love it and we thank you. Peace and love, y'all. And as always, go Pack.
You are Locked On Wolfpack, your daily podcast on the NC State Wolfpack. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.